All right. Before we start, I have to cheers first. Woo! Welcome to Sabrina's podcast. I'm Sabrina, and today we have this very special guest from England. Let's welcome Alice.
Hi.
Yeah, so Alice, I met her last year, and I don't know why she's back here. So I'm gonna give her a short time to introduce herself.
Hello, so I'm Alice. I'm from the UK. Last year I came to Taiwan to learn Chinese for 3 months, and I also wrote a dissertation on jazz, like the jazz scene in Taipei last year. And then I've come back this year just for a little holiday because I love the place so much. And yeah, I'm just here for a couple of weeks this time, and it's great to see Sabrina again.
Wow. So maybe if you follow my podcast, you know the last guest left a question for you. So the question is, how are you? How are you doing today?
Oh, nice. I was I was expecting a really like philosophical question. Thank God. Yeah, I'm great today. I'm having a great time with Sabrina. The weather's nice. Yeah, I'm having a really good day. We just had a nice dinner, having nice drinks. I'm really good.
That's a very hard answer for a hard question for Taiwanese people. Do you know, like when people ask you like, "What's up?" I mean, for us, we'll be like, At first, we don't know how to answer this question. I would say that this is more like culture difference. What do you think about this?
Uh, yeah, I think the same. I think it is a cultural difference because one of the things that I think British people or maybe Americans as well, when we learn Chinese, we always want to say like "ni hao ma," but people don't really say that, especially not as a greeting. But in the UK, especially where I'm from, you'll say like "oh, you're right," like "you're right," just to everybody, or "hello, how are you" is like one of the greetings that you'll do to even people who work in shops. You'll be like, "oh, hi, how are you?" You know. So it's yeah, it's really in our culture, but I think in Taiwan, "how are you" is a bit more of a maybe a deep question.
Yeah, it's very deep one. Like
Yeah.
if we're very close, I will ask you, 你最近过得还好吗? But if we're not close, just like hi, 很高兴认识你, or like just say hi or like nod and wave. We love to do this. I heard so many people that told me like this posture for them is like so weird, so strange. Because for Western culture, people will hug, give a kiss, and say hi. We have less body contact about greeting. But I'm curious that does everyone in the UK they love this kind of stuff? Or like
Uh, yeah, kind of like definitely the hugging. Like I always hug my friends when I see them and when I say goodbye, and my family as well. And I do it to my friends in Taiwan, and I think some of them are like, "Whoa, like this is a bit much." But yeah, I think we normally like hug each other to greet each other, um, handshakes and stuff. But we also wave. It sort of depends how well you know somebody, and you're not going to hug someone in a professional setting. But yeah.
this is a very interesting topic about the cultural difference. Like in Asian, like we don't have love affirmation. Do you know that stuff? So, like we don't show our love to our family. We don't say I love you, mom. Like it's very normal, and like especially I mean like in my generation, just less people to do like this way. For us, it's more like Western way. So I watched the podcast from Jimmy. Jimmy is a podcaster, yeah, stand up podcaster. No, not podcaster. He's a comedian. So he's from China, I guess. Then there's a podcast. It's about when he called to his mom. They said, "Mom, I love you," and the answer of his mom's like, "Do you have cancer?" Just so different.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely more of a thing in the UK or like just in Western culture. I definitely say I love my mom and like my friends and stuff as well. I'll be like, love you. Um, And it's also the same in relationships, right? Like when you start to like someone, you'll say like 我喜欢你, but you like 我爱你 is like very, very big. So yeah, and it's, I mean, it's sort of the same for us, but I think people say I love you a lot easier in the West.
So I have a question about like, so I went to UK, the UK for 30 days, like in 2015. It's like a long time ago. And Alice, she was here last year, and now it's the second time. Let's just use three words to keywords to describe each other's country. You ready? I'm gonna go first. So I will say, uh, the weathers, the colors represent UK's gray. Right? Um, then I love the food. It's very delicious. I would describe the food as very delicious. Then the second one, the people there, their characteristics, it's very like Taiwanese people. Sometimes friendly, but sometimes cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think if I had three words to describe Taiwan, or just what it's like to be in Taiwan, I would say that the people are very polite. So I use the word polite. Um, People are surprised when I say this, but clean. Like Taiwan is so clean, even though there's roaches and whatever. Compared to the streets in the UK, it's so clean. And maybe just like vibrant or beautiful or something like that. I think the colors in Taiwan, there's like the rich greens of the trees, the reds of like temples and those kind of buildings. And yeah, in general, I think it's really vibrant and beautiful. But yeah, it's funny you say about the similarities between people being sort of polite but cold sometimes. I really feel that in terms of Taiwan and the UK, we're very similar in that way. It's sort of surface level politeness, but trying to get deeper is maybe a little bit difficult.
Yeah, but actually, I think that's a good sign for being a human, real human, because like if you always pretend or always be fake, like oh I'm good, I'm okay, oh you look so good today, but like well you will never know like this person treat you real or not. So I do like the way we interact with each other. That's very good. So I think we have less time to end of our podcast today. I'm so happy. I feel more relaxed than last time. More episode I have, I'll be better. Thank you for coming today. So before we end this podcast, I have a question for you. So what did you learn today?
I've been thinking about this question since dinner, and I still don't have an answer. I think, what did I learn today? Can you go first?
I go first. What I learned today? Yeah. Sure, sure. Well, that's a question for me. What I learned today, it's just like I have a real long meeting in this morning in my school. Yeah, I'm a teacher. Then I was sitting there and did nothing, doing nothing, just to listen to everyone's presentation, even though I need to present, but they don't give me the time. So what I learned is just like no matter what, you just have to figure out a way to survive, even though you have to sit there and do nothing. And you can think about, you can have a daydream, you can think about other things, you can train yourself like oh it's a meditation, but just figure out you have to survive. Don't be negative too much.
Oh, I love that. It's so profound. Um, yeah, I think maybe something I've learned today, just hanging out with Sabrina again, it feels like the last time I saw you was like yesterday, you know? So I think something I've learned is that if you make genuine friendships, it doesn't matter how long goes in between you see them, that if it's a proper friendship, it'll stand the test of time, and when you hang out, it'll feel the same as it did before.
Oh, so sweet. Wow, that's a very good podcast, and we just randomly to find this cafe. This is so good for podcast. No problem. Now I'm going to not going to find the same place and do the podcast. Just kidding. All right. So the next guest they're gonna have another question. So what is your question for them?
Oh, I also forgot to think about this. I don't know who will come on the next one, but I will ask them, have you ever been to the UK? And if you have, what do you think of it?
If they don't,
Uh, what do you think of it from an outsider perspective of somebody who's never been?
got it. I will let you know the answer, but you have to watch the next episode and you'll see. Thank you for coming today and say goodbye to everyone. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for having me.